Hi, my name is Gibran, and welcome to Unlisted, another episode with Sam Malik. Sam, how are you?
I'm well, Gibran. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, man, good to see you as always. Um, okay, well, we've been talking about a bigger topic that revolves around are we the co creators of the universe? And in lieu of that, we decided to go with a few episodes describing what the chakras are. And Sam, we've done the 5 chakras out of 7. Today, we're going to take a step up and try to finish the rest of the 2. But mind you, these are one of the most important ones. Um, this is basically entering into an unlisted and unverifiable parts of the journey when it comes to the chakras. These chakras that we're going to be talking about are purely experiential and physically are not verifiable. And above all, these are have a very high level of association when it comes to spirituality. And so, without further ado, I think Sam, you should take over. And what can you tell us about the third eye chakra and the crown chakra?
All right, Gibran, I'll try my best. These chakras are purely spiritual, like Gibran said. And like I previously said, each chakra is associated with some organ of the body. So the third eye chakra, which is somewhere here, is associated with the pineal gland. And that gland is within the brain itself, the structure of the brain. This is a chakra for intuitive knowledge. Knowledge which cannot be obtained by the 5 senses. So, for example, if there is a mother and a child and they are separated by several rooms, and the child is crying, and the mother can neither see the child, hear the child, touch the child, whatever. But she gets an intuitive message that something is wrong with the kid, which is, by the way, very common between mothers and children. That's the kind of knowledge we are talking about.
Okay.
Of course, this is a very basic kind of an example. We receive a lot of this knowledge throughout the day, and we do not acknowledge it. So that's one of our problems, because our brain is so fast and our thought patterns are, a mile a minute. We don't pause and understand often that the information we are receiving and reacting to in microseconds, we have no business knowing it. So this is the place where you receive this information. So you get connected to consciousness through this chakra. Now, consciousness, or universal knowledge or intelligence, is so vast that we obviously receive a little bit of it at a time. Otherwise, I think our brains would fuse. It would be it would be too much in one go. So how do you? So there is this chakra is being talked about so much in popular culture, and people are really obsessed with activating the third eye chakra. So how does it happen, or what are the principles which can lead to some sort of conscious activation of this chakra? At the subconscious level, like I said to you before, it is active. We are receiving information, but we are not processing or editing the source of that information. We think it's internal and it's my thought, but no, it's not. And you have no business knowing the things that you are receiving. So each chakra has 2 emotions. which can activate it or close it. And in this case, the emotion which activates this chakra is peace. So if you are at peace with the universe, yourself, and life, then this chakra will get activated. But if there is any kind of depression, anger, negative emotions, whatever the opposite of peace is, turmoil in the brain, then the chakra will stop working temporarily or will become imperceptible in its functions. So, to understand this further, Gibran, we will have to talk about peace. What the hell is peace? There are many interesting definitions of peace out there, but I would like to throw one out at you right now, which is deeply spiritual. Peace is a reconciliation or acceptance of any outcome possible for the here and now. So this moment, extending into the future, could turn into millions of options, and peace is being okay with any one of those options. So I am not a religious person. I do talk about the divine, but I have a very different sense of the divine, more as a collective set of higher principles rather than an entity or a god or something like that. And so, this is where the divine element becomes very important. So if you believe that the divine is good and is loving and protecting, then yes, right now you and I can relax, enter a state of peace, and we will be comfortable with any outcome created by the divine, which is possible right now. But if you remove the divine from the equation and you think there is no higher power protecting you, guiding you, then the options available for this moment are 50% awful and 50% fantastic, or 50% good or 50% bad. So it becomes a bit of a problem. So for somebody who does not believe in a higher power or consciousness or a universal intelligence, this can lead to further anxiety, and then this chakra will close up. Does that make sense, Gibran?
It actually does make sense. But then any feeling or emotion that is between good or bad, I think wouldn't it the same principle apply or is it limited to peace only?
I think it would apply right through and through, but right now we are focused on this idea of peace, right? So I'm sitting in this room right now and the roof is not falling on my head, but that's one possibility. Or the earth is not shaking and a major earthquake is not happening right now. But these are possibilities, right?
Correct.
And you and I are very comfortable right now, and we believe in the moment, and we believe we will be fine. So it's this sort of thing I'm talking about. Peace. So peace obviously is applied to who you are, where you are. Okay, I don't know what life means, but I will be okay. Yeah, so on and so forth. So peace at every level, right?
Right.
And when you finally attain a higher state of peace, for lack of better words, you start entering bliss. You don't care about the bad things possible. And you start entering a state of bliss because now you're sure you will be taken care of. Even if you die, it will just be a transition or whatever works for you. I'm not here to, preach any particular religion or philosophy or principles. It's about attaining peace internally. It's a personal thing. This chakra and the next one are very, very personal. They're very individual in how they can be influenced or manipulated or empowered. You have to know yourself. You have to know your faults. You have to know your fears, your limitations to be able to attain peace, right?
There is,
And you
however,
also,
there is, however, one very important part, because earlier this entire thing is built on a premise that one is what our minds feed us the information that could be our own thoughts, our own version of reality, our own set of emotions that's within us. But this specifically, when you
yes,
talked about this chakra, there is a little, actually, a huge difference. Rather than having your own internal thoughts, these are external coming to you. How does one differentiate
that's
between
right.
whether it's my own thought or not?
Well, your own thoughts are normally generated by your memory. It's an unfolding of memory, previous experience, cause and effect. Whatever you have learned in life will, the stored memories in the body, a book you have read, all of that will create internal thought. It's normally a response to the five senses also, through which we, learn to operate in the earth plane. But here, like I said, with the example of the mother and the child, we are receiving information which we can't experience ourselves. It's something from outside. This idea of inside and outside is exactly this, that we can't come up with this kind of an idea, this kind of a thought, based on our life experience. Um,
Can it also be
so
said,
even this. Mhm.
if that's the case, then let's say if all the people in the universe, the earth, have that higher level of consciousness, they have this third eye chakra operating freely, people have stepped into that consciousness. In that situation, is it okay to say that we all are connected without even having a physical interaction?
Yes, absolutely. It's possible. We can send each other messages, receive messages from each other and from the universe, right? So, this example might illustrate this a little better.
Okay.
If we use our own mental faculties right now and we start thinking about, are we safe right now? Is everything okay right now? Our brain is going to say, no, we are not. Anything is possible. So, anything can happen in this moment, and most of it, or half of it at least, can be very negative. So, when we receive peace through this chakra, something is overriding our own intellectual ability to process life. Something is saying, hey, relax, you will be okay. So, you know, does that help?
It does. It does. Okay. In the interest of time, let's move on further
To the
to
crown chakra.
the crown chakra.
Yeah. Okay, so this right on top over here is called the crown chakra. Again, a very personalized experience and connected to some gland in the brain, the hypothalamus probably, but not necessary to identify the gland connected with this chakra for the sake of this discussion. So you've heard of you've seen iconographic paintings of Jesus and saints with this golden halo around them. You must have experienced that, right? So that's a symbol for somebody whose crown chakra is open. And how does this crown chakra open? Again, very personal, based on your life experience. This is a place of attachment versus detachment.
Right.
if you're attached to your body and if you tend to forget that you're going to die, then this is an unhealthy attachment and the
Right.
chakra will remain closed. But the minute you understand that you're part of the universe and you will die one day and life will go on, and you're okay with it, this chakra will open. So the more attached we are to our egos, to what I want, to how it should be versus how it is, to materiality, so on and so forth, this chakra will close up.
Right.
Why is it important to keep this chakra open? Because this is the chakra through which we receive divine prana, the life force,
Right.
and it activates all the chakras, right? So all 7 chakras are the highway of life, of creation. Here is a chance of co-creation, right?
Okay.
The ether.
Right.
So and then all of these chakras are projecting out into the universe, creating what we are experiencing around us. So attachment, detachment again is a very personal thing, right? Very, very personal. Sometimes we are attached to our disease and we think it's part of our identity. We are attached to our disorders. We are attached to our 9-to-5 job. We are, so it's not about giving anything up, Gibran. It's about realizing that yes, they are here, but they are not defining us. They are not defining life or the human experience. They're just a part of it. So if a mother is attached to a baby and is so protective that she will never let it out of her lap, will not let it walk because she's afraid it will fall, that's an unhealthy attachment. Unless the kid learns to fall and get up and fall and get up, the kid will never learn how to walk. So once again, that's the kind of example of emotionally what's going on up here. I love my parents, but I know they are going to go one day, right? So if I sit there in fear of their death, I will not enjoy my relationship with them. And of course, this chakra allows you to love, but in the way I told you earlier with the heart chakra, it's loving things as they are, not lying about their nature, but loving life, yourself, the universe as it is. Sorry, you were going to say something.
Well, one of the questions I had, in fact, the last question would be, a person who probably has more consciousness with an open 7 chakra, and obviously the 6th, and as it comes down, compared to a person who does not have that kind of level of consciousness, how do we spot the differences? Are there any physical parameters or gauges for it?
Yes, very interesting question, because we just described the 7 parts of the human, or the 7 natures, or the 7 universes that we are living in at the same time, simultaneously. So let's say that the 5 chakras below, the physical ones, have been shut off, and this one and this one are the only active ones. Then we would, for society, we would be very goofy people. We would have nothing to do with the material world. Our behavior would be one of almost like a holy lunatic. We wouldn't care about the body. We wouldn't care about food and so on and so forth. So that would be an imbalance, and there are such characters in society who never recover from tremendous spiritual experiences and they become a little goofy. And so that's a hint towards the imbalance. Now, the reverse is also possible. If your earth chakra and your water chakra are predominant and these chakras are not, then you become a materialistic, animalistic kind of a human being.
Wow.
Sort of people we look at and wonder what happened to them. Why aren't they human? They're obsessed with materiality and other things, and constant denial of spirituality or anything higher. So we are here to experience all 7 chakras equally. This is not the time to pretend to be an angel with a light body. We have to keep our body, we have to keep our hunger, and yet we have to remain open to the divine, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, in simpler
in
terms,
fact,
what you're saying is, regardless of whether these are the most spiritual chakras of the all the chakras need to be working in order, being harmoniously working, and then being connected properly to experience all the elements. One chakra without the other still leaves an imbalance, whether the first 5 are working and the last 2 aren't, or the last 2 are working and the first 5 aren't. Could it be summed that way?
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, there's a lovely analogy I can give you, but it's just a metaphor, that the divine is touching the earth through our 7 chakras. It's the highway for creation, spirituality, and the divine is also receiving information from the earth up to the 7th heaven through the human body. So we are the communicators, and we are here to report back and to receive messages for the earth of how to turn it into heaven on earth, and also sending up messages for problems which need to be solved, or guidance which needs to reach us. Right. So that's why our life beyond our own ego is very important. We are the communicators.
Well
the
said.
Link between the 7th heaven and the earth.
Wow.
Thank you.
In the interest of time, I think that these topics are very complicated to understand. The more we speak, maybe it might get more confusing, because then we're going into more details. Because since these are very abstract things, if you can just simply summarize in a minute or so of what we have talked about in principle, in its essence, in its importance, if you can sum that for us.
Okay. Quickly, I would like to say that we are all looking for a purpose of life, and our purpose is really to remain open in all 7 chakras and let the divine manifest into the physical and receive reports on the physical upwards, and bullshit, nonsensical constructs, human constructs, block us from doing that. And we think there is another purpose, like a job or a family, but really our primary goal should be, and our deeper purpose should be, to keep our 7 chakras open, to learn about them, and to balance the universe.
Well, Sam, thank you so much on that note. I hope the viewers probably would get to learn a couple of things here and there. I know these may not be the main topics of discussions that we want to hold, but these were the last 5 episodes, including this one, where the language, as we earlier mentioned, or the alphabets of the language, in order to understand how to access or understand spirituality or indulge yourself in these conversations. It also gives you an insight to look at the world in a very different perspective or view. And having multiple concurrent views is what opens up your mind to newer ideas, hence why Unlisted, and that's why we are here. Well, thank you so much, Sam, for being with us. I know your time's valuable and precious, So for those of you who want to get in touch with Sam for his for private healing sessions, please feel free. Log into his website, healedbylife.com. I'll put the link for his YouTube channel as well on the screen, and they can contact Sam directly. Till then, thank you once again, Sam, and thank you for the viewers who have been watching us. We'll see you soon.
Thank you and take care.
All right.